see some shadows. I do apologize, but that's the only way that I can keep the glare off of the iPad. So today's video is definitely a viewer request. After I posted the video yesterday, I received all kinds of messages on YouTube, Facebook. I've received emails, you name it. Several people saying that they just want to see me do my design process. I don't know what my process is. I just sat down and I just start going. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I don't know if I'm going to speed it up because I don't know. We'll just see. And if I do speed it up, I'll let you know that I sped it up. And I'll let you know how long the original video was so that you would, you'll get an idea. Before I get started though, I do want to show you a couple of things. I had got this happy mail back last month. This is from Miss Terry over at Terry's Paper Treasures. This woman is awesome. But she had sent me this amazing little booklet. I've never even thought about doing something like this. Love it. And then she had also sent this, which is just so adorable. The pockets that she has in here, the little journal cards, it's like half tucks, half pockets. I mean, it's absolutely adorable. And so she sent this. And then today, I get an Amazon package. And guess what was in it? Oh my God! Y'all, I can't even tell you. I was like screaming. Literally, I was like screaming. Look at this. Terry's had this sent to me. Isn't she wonderful? Yes, this is from Miss Terry over at Terry's Paper Treasures. And so I sent my husband some pictures of it and a little video of me rifling through it. And my husband's first words was, "You're not tearing that up." So he is looking forward to coming home this evening and us just sitting down and going through this. Can you believe that Miss Terry sent this to me? So I'm like beyond ecstatic. So thank you so much, Miss Terry. You have no idea what that means. But I had to show you guys that because it was just amazing. So I am not going to talk. I may come back on. I don't know. I may do what I know what I'll do. I am going to go ahead and stop talking like in a minute when I get through with this. I'll stop talking. I'll do my design process, and then I will actually, whenever I do the video and get it uploaded, I will try to do a voiceover, trying to maybe possibly explain what I'm doing, because like I said, I have no idea. So that's what I am going to do. So just sit back, enjoy, laugh, because I'm sure there will be a lot of laughing with the way that I do things. So let's just go for it, guys. Okay, guys, so right here, I was actually just taking my mic off. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with my blank Photoshop page. I am so sorry for that glare. I was doing everything I could to keep it from glaring, but it didn't help. I'm just trying to find a piece of like coffee dyed paper that I want to put behind it to use as my base. I tend to like a coffee dyed paper base, especially when I'm working with like a vintage look, which that was not what my intentions were when I started doing this video. As you will see, I actually, from my search, you will see that I intended to do one thing and then I done something totally and completely different. But that's how I am. Whenever I start doing something, I may have one thought in mind. Oh, did y'all see my handsome husband there? Sorry, got sidetracked. So several of you have asked where I get a lot of my graphics from. This website here is actually Raw Pixel. It is a paid subscription. I think you can download some for free. I do have the paid subscription. I think I have the lifetime. So as you can see, I thought I was going to go with maybe lilacs, but for some reason my iPad and Raw Pixel is just not getting along right now. It is taking forever for something to download from them. So you'll see this right here. This image never completely downloaded, and that's just too much for me because that's a waste of time in my opinion. I have too much to do to sit there and wait for an image to download. So you will see that I finally get aggravated with it and I back out of it shortly. Maybe I had there we go. I was thinking I had a little bit more patience than what I normally do. So now I'm just going to go and I'm going to try and find some other lilac images, and it didn't even save my search, so I just typed lilac in again. And I like that one, and I was thinking about doing, a repeating background with that one. That's kind of what I was looking for, was what I could use to do like a pattern by using my Adobe Illustrator. And I really, I like that very purple, I think it was actually like an icing layer. I like that, but it didn't go with what I thought I wanted to do. So I'm just looking for a few, lilac images that I think that I might want to use. And just downloading a few of those. And then now I am going to FavPNG. It is another subscription service. I believe, though, that they also have a free part of it. And so I didn't have any problems, as you can see, downloading from there. So I'm not sure what the issue is with Raw Pixel right now. But I tend to use either FavPNG or Raw Pixel for the most part. I do have, I think it's Image Bin or something. I'm not even sure what it is. I haven't been on it in so long. It's very similar to FavPNG, so a lot of times I don't even go to it. So again, I am just trying to get some lilac images, and you will see when I get slapped in the head with what I actually want to do. You'll see it when it just reaches out and grabs me. You guys know how I am by now. So I was just getting, those were like some falling lilac leaves. I like that. I like to do a little bit of a background like that, an overlay. So I'm still searching, and at this point I still don't really see anything that grabs me. But wait, hold up, you guys knew I was going to get a rose. I mean, it was not going to be a video without me getting a rose downloaded. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll do purple rose. And so I'm still trying to go with that lilac theme. I'm still, but I'm just not feeling it. That's why I'm still searching, because I'm just trying to find something that is going to grab me. And, then I see all those roses, and I used to have a purple rose bush, and those things are so hard to grow. But, I love mine. So I'm still trying. I mean, y'all got to give me effort there. I really was trying to go with something like the lilac. I really was. I tried. That's all I can say, guys. I tried. And so this one was pretty. I did like that, and that was definitely something I thought I could possibly work with tonight. And this one, I love this one. Thought I could definitely work with that one, and that may be future. But I'm still it's just not getting me. And so then when I typed in vintage, there's this clock. I love the clock, but it had the picture in it, and I just, it wasn't doing it for me either. And so I'm still just looking through vintage and looking through. And I love the books. I love the vintage books laying there like that. That was a very good image, and I actually do use that in one of the papers that I do tonight. And so all is well. Everything's going good. I'm still kind of looking for, that lilac, and Still trying, and then up, oh, boom, there it hits. There it was. That was it. That was it, guys. I seen that vintage rose, and I'm like, up, there we went. I just done a U-turn, and a lilac, no more. I was done with the lilac, and there I am typing in vintage rose. And that's all she wrote. So that's why it is the vintage rose. So now I'm just searching for vintage roses. So the search was on. So once I started searching for the vintage roses, that was it. There was no way I was going to be able to do anything but something using a vintage rose. And I've said many times that is just like my go-to. When I hit like a writer's block type thing, or I just really don't feel like I can design anything for some reason. Pink and roses, I can always do something with those. Always. And so I'm still just getting a couple more images. I don't get that many more, but you can see I spent most of my time just searching for images because I get a lot of images and then I end up not using most of them. But it just makes me feel better knowing that I have them there. If I want to pull from them and use them, I can, because I don't like stopping in the middle of a design. You know, if I'm designing something and then I'm like, oh my goodness, I needed something different. So you'll see I'm pulling a couple of different things that I don't even use. I don't even know why I was pulling it, but you know, it's me. That's all I can say. So now I'm going into my Adobe Illustrator, and I am just selecting an artboard, and I selected the 11 by 8.5. And so I am going to pull in one of my images, and it will be a rose. You guys know that. And so when I get it, as you can see, there was quite a bit of white around it. And I could have even taken away more white than what I did. But what I did on that, because it does not have a crop feature on the iPad, so I drew a rectangle on top of the rose. And then I created a clipping mask. And so it reduced the size of around the rose. And I could have vectorized it and then told it to ignore the white. And I can go into all of that if you guys want me to at some point. But, you know, you can make do without doing all of that. And so I just done the grid and had the patterns repeat. And so I am just bringing that pattern on down to where it covers the page. And then I was trying to export it as a PSD at 1000 dpi, just so that I would have a very clear image to work with. But it was telling me I was being an idiot, and that was just too much. And so I just ended up exporting it as a PNG, and I done it 4 times with a transparent background. And so now I'm just bringing it into my Photoshop. And this is why I say I use so many different programs. It's so crazy. So I'm just placing it on my coffee dyed paper there. And I mean, number one, what is not to love about vintage roses and coffee dyed paper? Hello. I love that. So I am just reducing the transparency of the roses a little bit because I really don't want them to be that bright. I just want them to be there, basically. And so I'm getting that same rose that I used to make that repeating pattern. And I am just going to add that onto the paper. And it's almost like it's a focal point. Guys, I don't know anything about graphic design. I don't know anything about art theory and all that good stuff. I just know what I enjoy. And so I enjoy that being there like that. So now I am just looking through the file that I am going to now is my Graphics Fairy. That is another subscription service that I get a lot of images from. So I am just going to the file that I have on them. I just pulled one of the transparent overlays of the script writing, and I am just choosing my grunge brush, and I am going to make sure that it is set to clear, because I don't want to add anything. I actually want to take away from it some. So I'm almost like erasing it, but it's a very light erase, and so that it just kind of blends in and it looks, it doesn't have the harsh lines. You guys that have been with me any length of time, y'all know I can't stand the harsh lines. And so that's all I'm doing there. I'm just adding that, and I added it and then took most of it away. But that's how I do. And so my Dropbox was being stupid, and it does that all the time. So then it'll be like, okay, I'm done. I'm not opening right now. So I'm like, okay, forget you. I'll get something else. And so that's what I'm doing. And so right here is where, as I know most of you have seen, I have a lot of my papers have the borders around them. And so that's what I've done. I put another coffee dyed paper on top. That's darker, and then I done my marquee rectangle, and I done the inside of it and masked it and clipped it out. And so now I am just going to drag it to where I get the edges the size that I want. Maybe, I don't know, maybe about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, maybe not quite 1/4. But just enough that you can see that there is an edge to the paper there. And I like that. I like it where it makes it look like the other, the paper underneath is, excuse me, having to peek out from behind that border. And so I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm saving it there. I love the way the image looked. Yep. So that one was done. I loved it. It was beautiful. And so now I'm just deleting the layers because I'm just going to use that same coffee dyed background and that same border, and I'm just going to do something else there. I put that book down that you guys saw me download because I really wanted to use that. It was just so pretty. And so I decreased the opacity on it some because I didn't want it to be like in your face, I guess you could say. I just really wanted it to be a little bit noticeable, but not front and center. And so now I'm still just looking through. This is one of my other images that I've done, and that was not what I wanted. I need to name my stuff better. And so now I'm just looking through. These are some of my files that I have. And then I come into... have a bunch of like vintage wallpaper, and so that's what I'm getting. And I don't worry about the color of it because I know I can do something with the color. So you see that one's like bright and in your face, and so I'm pulling the rose back in, and I'm using that rose as a reference. I done my eyedropper tool to get the color that I wanted. I deleted the rose back, then I loaded that the layer of that wallpaper as a selection. I done a new layer, and then I painted that new layer with that pink. Then I merged it down. And after I done it to color, I think it was color instead of hue. So now that bright wallpaper is now that pretty Victorian pink. And I'm back with my paintbrush down on clear, and I am taking most of that out. It's like I said, I don't really want that to be the center of your attention. I just want you to realize that it's there, I guess. Very subtle. That's what I was looking for. So now I'm just looking for something else that I want to put there. And again, like I said, I have no idea. When I start doing these, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea how they're going to turn out. So as you can see, I got an invoice. And again, the invoice was not the color I wanted, so I loaded as a selection, new layer, my paintbrush, painted it that pretty pink, merged it down, and then I done it to color so that it is now that pretty pink. And then I merged the layers together, and there we go again. I'm erasing most of it because I just didn't want any straight edges. They just seem very harsh to me. So now I've pulled that pretty pink rose back in, and I'm just trying to find out where I want to put it because I just wanted it there. No other reason. I just wanted it on there somewhere. And so I finally decided that I want it near the book. I enjoyed the way that it looks, but then I done it where it was just real light. And again, there's no main focal point. It's just, it's something that you know it's there. And so I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't remember, guys. I don't know. But I was looking for something else with Graphics Fairy. Oh yeah, that's right. Duh. I done the lace. And so the lace wasn't quite wide enough for me, so I duplicated the layer, moved the second layer over, put them together. Then I merged the two layers together. I just merged the one layer down on top of the other one. And then once I moved it to where I wanted it moved, then I loaded as a selection. I done a new layer. I colored it that pink color. And then I'm just going to delete the black layer underneath it. There's no need for me to merge it down or anything. And I'm still thinking that I'm in Illustrator, because Illustrator you slide to delete. In Photoshop you have to tap delete, so forgive that. So now I've got my beautiful pink lace, and I'm just trying to figure out which layer it is because I can't see. And so when I finally decide which layer it is, instead of duplicating all these other layers, you will see that I will move it down some, and when I get it near that book, it just like pops. The color is just, look how pretty that is. And there come the arm down, so you know I was like, yeah. So again, I'm back with my paintbrush tool and just erasing some of that, or with the clear. And so now I am saving that image because I am satisfied with it. And so now I'm just selecting multiple layers so I don't have to do delete, 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 delete. And now we're back down to my coffee dyed paper and my border. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do on this one. And I'm looking through my stuff with Graphics Fairy, and at this point, I didn't have a clue. It was just, I don't know, I do that a lot. I'll look, and I'll just keep looking until something jumps out at me, like that Vintage Rose did whenever I was on Fab PNG looking for the lilac images. And so that's what I'm doing here. And then I realized I was actually searching for R to see if I had anything saved as roses in Graphics Fairy. No, I have it bad for roses. And so when I don't find what I'm really wanting in there, you'll see that I'll just I will go out of that, and I just go and I'll do that sometimes. I'll just keep on until I can figure out, I'll go from, my Dropbox to my photos to my files. And I'll just keep doing that until I get something that just really hits me and it's what I want. And so again, my Dropbox was being stupid. And so I'm just like, whatever, I'm not dealing with you. And so I just went back into my files that were on my iPad, and I worked with those for a few minutes. I'll look at them, but you're gonna see I'm like, no, it doesn't have what I want. And so I go back to my photos. Imagine that. So I get that pretty rose there, and I just enlarged it a little bit, but it's a little too pink for me, so I done multiply so it makes it look kind of vintage. And so then I duplicated the layer, and then rather than just move it, I made it to where it was mirror image. And then I just took that over. And at this point, I still don't have a clue what I'm going to be doing to this paper. I'm just working with it. I'm just kind of letting the paper speak to me. And so I've got those, and they were still a little too dark. So again, I take my paintbrush on the grunge effect. I have it on clear. and I just start getting some of it gone. So now I'm looking again, and I bring back in those little bitty roses that I multiplied. And this what time I turn them kind of cattywampus. I don't know what you call it. That's my redneck coming out. And again, I done the same thing. I done multiply so they looked real vintagey. And then I took the paintbrush and done over them with the grunge clear and got a lot of it out of there. So now I can see that I'm back at the wallpapers, and I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to do. And again, color doesn't matter because I can make it whatever color I want it. Load it as a selection, painted it, now merged it down or clipped it down, and then I changed my what do you call it, effects. I done it to color, so now I have that pretty pink. Then I merged the pink down onto the other one, and then I am just moving it now. And at this point, I'm still not sure where this page is going. I'm just working. I'm just enjoying it. And that's the biggest thing, is that you just enjoy what you do. And so you can see I took a lot of it down, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to keep it all. It's just like in scrapbooking. Sometimes you'll put a whole bunch of stuff down as your background, and then you end up, you know, covering over it. And that's how it is with this kind of, with the digital design. Now I'm taking this red and white candy stripe, and I'm like, I think I might like that. But what I done is I done the magic eraser or the magic wand, and I am removing the white until I hit invert, and yeah. But I am just removing the white layer just by simply hitting it and then saying erase. And so I'm just doing that because all I want to have left is just that red. There's easier ways to do it, but for the sake of time, I was just like, no, I don't mind doing it this way. So it doesn't take me that long, so that's what I'm doing. So I've got all the white removed, and now I'm loading it as a selection, adding a new layer, and then I'm filling it all up with that pink. And then I just delete the red layer. I don't need the red layer anymore. So I tried merging down, and so what it done is it merged down onto the wallpaper because that's what was directly underneath it. I liked the way it looked, but I don't know, I just really wanted it all over. And so then this is where the page starts coming together for me. When I started taking the paintbrush and doing the grunge in the clear, it just started kind of coming together almost like a vignette, or however you say it. I'm not proper enough. And so I'm just breaking down some of the how dark it is, just making it a little bit lighter. And just like that, I'm done. Love it. So hope you enjoyed. Here I am again. All right, guys. So I done, 3. Not too bad. Let's see if we can pull them in and just show them to you. So let me color this background. We're not going to do that. Let me just pull the photos in. Oh, I didn't upload that one, did I? Or did I? Well, there's apparently one I didn't upload. Oh well. And my iPad is being slow tonight. I will get them and I will show them at the end of the video because apparently my iPad is being stupid. Let's just see what we do have here. Okay, so I don't have that one. So let's save that one. And as you see, there I started off with one thought in mind. I thought I was going to possibly do lilacs. And then as I got into it, and then y'all saw where the rose caught my eye, and that was it. Because once I seen the rose, I'm like, oh, nope, that's it. And so now I am just, it looks a little too flat for me right here. So I am just going to add some shadow behind it so that it looks like it's setting up off of the page just a little bit. And that's all I'm doing right this second. And so once I get that done, I will stop and let you guys see the 3 pages we created. And it is just now, the entire video is at 30 minutes. So if I speed it up, it doesn't matter, because no matter what, it took me 30 minutes. So, you know, and some days I can sit down and I can do a paper collection in just an hour or so. There are other days that I sit down and I'm telling you, I cannot get anything. So that's just how I am. Okay. So these are the 3 papers that we created, or, you know, I created with you guys tonight. So I'll have better pictures of them at the end of the thing. I can see that it still has a glare, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know if you like these kind of videos, and if you want to see more of these in the future. I don't mind doing them. But anyway, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.